Hey folks, Matt Easton here, Scholar Gladiatoria. So yesterday I put up a video about the early development, or the possible early development, of sabres in Europe, and in fact not just in Europe but also to an extent in Asia, the Middle East, North Africa and so on. And as I made clear in that video, this is a topic which is quite contentious and quite complicated. There are no simple answers in it, and that was ultimately the main point I was trying to make in the video, was that we can't really say that the sabre, as we call it, so that the sabre or the kilich or the shamshir or even the Chinese dao, that it specifically came from one place, because what we see actually in the archaeological record is that in the sort of 9th, 10th century, there were several cultures who were starting to use single-edged, slightly curved swords. And definitely we see this in the so-called steppes in, essentially Asia, but also we see it in parts of Russia, we see it in what's now Hungary. And in actual fact, one of the cultures, as I pointed out, one of the cultures that's most famous for using a curved sword being the Ottoman Turks. In fact, they didn't start using curved swords, at least in what's now Turkey, until relatively late. Really, we're talking about the sort of 13th century, for the beginnings of what we see of the development of what we now call the kilich. And yes, I do know that kilich is just the Turkish word for sword. However, in the English-speaking world, if we say kilich, then it means a specific type of sword, the famous curved Turkish sword with a large yeoman on the back. But I do want to say, I don't know very much about the history of Hungary. I put my hands up, I never claimed to. And I thank you actually for all of the contributions that have been made underneath that video. I don't mind being told that I'm wrong at all. And actually that's what this video is about. Matt Easton doesn't know everything. Matt Easton isn't always right. I am a person like you. And whilst I do have a YouTube channel, it gives me a unique voice, I suppose, and many people amazingly look at me as somebody to get information from, which I'm very flattered by and I'm very thankful for. But always remember that I can't be 100% correct all the time, and hopefully I'm relatively humble on that point. I do own up, I do make videos if I realise I've been wrong or I change my point of view. I do make follow-up videos later to correct myself, and indeed if you look in the comments under my videos, I do sometimes say, you're totally right, I was wrong about this point, I was wrong about that point. So it's absolutely fine for me to be wrong, and I hope that I own up to it when I am. Equally, the other thing is about points of view. There are many things that I talk about which are my point of view, and I do completely understand and accept that not everybody shares my point of view. Amazingly, I am aware of some people in the HEMA community who get really angry because I have different points of view to them on very specific things. Come on guys, this is really idiotic. This is like hating all people who have a different political view to you or religious view to you. It's really, really childish. Obviously, my views are sculpted by my experience and just the person I am. And you, whoever you are out there listening to this video, might find that you agree with 95% of the things I say and you disagree with 5% of the things I say. That's okay. I'm sure that I would disagree with 5% of the things you would say, but that doesn't mean that we can't get along, share our experiences, share our views. So, final closing message is really to say, I don't know everything about everything. I'm learning more all the time. The sabre topic has been really interesting, and thank you so much for your contributions. I've already now learned a bit more about Hungarian history than I knew before, which is fantastic because Hungary is a really interesting place. I've got friends from Hungary. I own swords from Hungary. And I really want to visit Hungary at some point in the future. It seems like a fascinating country and culture to explore. But finally, just to say that, of course, you, whoever you are not going to agree with 100% of what I say. Okay, there might be a small number of you out there who do actually agree with 100% of what I say. I should form some kind of cult just for you and me to get together. But no, seriously, some of my best friends in the entire world, we disagree about all sorts of stuff. But fundamentally, That's what humans do. We all have different views. We all have our own particular perspectives on the world. So we're not going to agree about everything. So remember, sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I just have a different point of view. That's not necessarily a reason to hate me. Cheers, folks.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow us on Facebook. You can buy t-shirts through Spreadshirt, support us on Patreon, or follow us on Pinterest. Thank you.